You can't tune a fish. Hello friends, my name is Palomore, and in today's quick video, we are going to be going over kind of a Sub Rogue PvE overview for Shadowlands. Specifically, I'll be using the Kyrian Covenant. This video might be a little bit longer, so just in case of that, I've left timestamps down in the description for you guys, so you can go to any specific spot you want if you'd like. Without further ado, I guess let's just jump right into it. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to try to keep this one fast like always. I don't want to be wasting anybody's time here, but there is a lot of really helpful information, so I don't want to just skip over too much. That's why I've left timestamps for you guys, but let's jump right into it. Right off the bat, the first thing we're going to jump into is just talents and kind of do a talent overview, and I'm actually still in my PvP ones, so we can mess around with that. I'll turn war mode off too, so don't have to worry about that for PvE. So in terms of PvE right now, there's a couple different ways you can go about it, but the main thing that I've seen success with by trying and kind of reading up on is kind of this build that's based all around having a lot of Shadow Dance uptime. You're going to go ahead and you're going to take Weapon Master in slot number 1. Slot number 2, this is very important, you're going to go with Shadow Focus. The reason you're going to go Shadow Focus is because if you're running this talent, Enveloping Shadows, which gives you 2 Shadow Dances, which we are going to, without Shadow Focus, you'll usually be pretty energy starved in the Shadow Dance where you don't have Symbols of Death. So this is really, really good. In the third tier here, you know, I thought maybe both of these could kind of bounce around. This is more of a PvP slash maybe a Mythic Plus going pack to pack, but you're going to get most value out of Deeper Stratagem. This tier, quite situational. If you're a noob and you get hit by abilities, go Cheat Death so you don't die. If you're pretty confident with what you're doing, Soothing Darkness will actually give you a lot of value from heals during your Shadow Dance. This is very, very strong. In the next tier here, once again, kind of preference. You're not going to be really using stuns that much, or your slow is not going to matter. I mean, I guess in Mythic Plus, you might be able to get like the most benefit out of maybe slowing the enemies, but I think also sometimes if you end up stunning mobs, Prey on the Weak will help out with a 10% damage bonus for your group, so that's what I run. Like I said before, these two are pretty strong options, but with the Shadow Focus kind of build, you definitely want Enveloping Shadows. This will give you 2 Shadow Dance charges, and as you can see, it'll reduce the cooldown faster as you use finishers. With this talent and this talent, you will be Shadow Dancing so much, and you will not be energy starved, and it is so powerful, I'm telling you. In the last tier here, these two are kind of a joke, at least from what I've seen. I messed around with this, garbage. I haven't actually never used this. It doesn't look that great though. I'm going to be honest. It does not look that great. This is going to give you a ton of value, especially when we come back to not being energy starved during Shadow Dance. It's just more energy regen. So this is kind of the talents. Okay, now that we're done with talents, we're going to jump through a couple really quick things, and then we'll jump into the more deeper topics. So number 1, we're looking at stat priority. This is going to vary a little bit for single target and AoE, but in single target, generally, you're a big fan of crit, you're a big fan of versatility. Haste and Mastery are kind of down at the bottom there, a little interchangeable, but you're really actually benefiting a lot from crit now in Shadowlands. Next, we're looking at Legendaries. Obviously, they aren't in the game as of this exact moment, but they will be coming out very soon. Let me go to the right expansion here. From what I've heard, for both PvE and PvP, Akari's Soul Fragment will actually probably be the most strong legendary, the effect. But to be fair, I don't think it's safe to lock in anything until the game's gone farther in and people have really kind of dug deep into each legendary and, you know, theory crafted what can be used differently to synergize with other things. I think you could still be pretty open-minded about this, but from what I've been told, I have not looked too much into this myself, but Akari Soul Fragment should be pretty strong. So just keep that in mind. Next, we're just going to cover poisons. You are going to always be wanting to go instant poison. Basically, you have 2 offensive poisons, wound and instant, and then 2 kind of like passive ones, which are numbing and crippling. Instant literally just does 96 damage on the same proc rate as wound. The only difference is wound adds a mortal wound effect, which decreases healing on the target. You're not going to benefit. You're not going to be fighting against Holy Priests in a Mythic Plus, so instant poison's more damage. And the secondary option also doesn't really matter. I would just say go with crippling. So instant poison and crippling for poisons. Alright guys, now into the deeper stuff. I say it's the deeper stuff, but in reality, is it really that deep? There is a lot of spells in the game but when we look at kind of a general rotation, it really isn't that complicated. If we look at the Subtlety Rogue, outside of cooldowns, there is basically three things that are important. And that is number one, maintaining Rupture. The reason we maintain Rupture is because it just does a lot of damage over time. 4.3k over 28 seconds. As long as your target is going to be alive for 28 seconds, you guaranteed will do 4.3k damage. That's why you want to maintain it instead of only doing eviscerates, which only go up to 2400 damage, obviously. So, if your target's going to die after 10 seconds, is it worth putting a full Rupture? Absolutely not. You're just going to want to eviscerate because you're not going to get the full damage value out of Rupture. So number one, maintaining Rupture. Number two, maintaining Slice and Dice. And that is because we're going to have a higher attack speed, which just equates to more DPS. It's very simple stuff. Outside of maintaining Rupture and Slice and Dice, number three on the stat priority, leaving it super simple, is literally just building combo points to use Eviscerate. Alright guys, with that stuff covered, let's go ahead and start to wrap this thing up. Let's talk about cooldown management. So, like I said with the general playstyle of Rogue with this spec, it's about having a lot of uptime on our Shadow Dance and getting the most benefit out of it. When we're talking cooldown management, it's going to vary on your situation. If you're in a Mythic Plus, a general rule of thumb that I really want to push is don't be afraid of saving your cooldowns as a Sub Rogue. Shadow Blades is a 3-minute cooldown, and that is basically your longest cooldown. Your Shadow Dances are almost always up. You have 2 charges that are on a 1-minute recharge, and your finishers take time off the cooldown. Symbols of Death is a 30-second cooldown. Your Kyrian Echoing Reprimand, this is a 45-second cooldown. You have no reason to not be spamming your CDs off of cooldown, literally. If you're close to a boss, maybe hold Shadow Blades a little bit, but if you're doing a trash pack right before a boss, and you only have to kill one more elite, pop symbols. Just pop symbols. It's going to be up in like 20 seconds before you know it. So this is like a general rule of thumb that I think is really important when it comes to cooldown management in general. In terms of actually synergizing your abilities, to get the most value out of Echoing Reprimand, you're going to want to dump this very early before a Shadow Dance, and that's because of the Mastery buff you give. If you don't know this, Rogue Mastery, Sub Rogue Mastery basically increases your finisher damage. So if you're about to go into Shadow Dance and you're about to spam Eviscerates, having the Echoing Reprimand, as you can see up here, for 7 seconds, you're going to gain 350 Mastery, and that bumps that up to 71% for me from 46%. So as you can see, that's like 30% more finisher damage. So for the most value out of this, you're going to want to use it before a dance, probably. Also, I would probably stack Echoing Reprimand with your symbols, because as of right now, from what I've seen, basically Echoing Reprimand is our hardest hitting ability. So if we can guarantee that that's going to crit with symbols, pretty good decision. Pretty good decision. When it comes to our defensives, evasion, save that for when your tank sucks and you have to tank a boss. Try to squeeze in your Crimson Vial whenever there's a mechanic where your group's taking a lot of damage, or your raid or mythic, whatever it is. It'll help your healers out a ton. It's a small DPS loss. It only costs you 20 energy. Obviously, if you're Kyrian, throw your potions in. Cloak. Cloak of Shadows is a awesome spell. Is an awesome spell. This ability is actually so good for PvE. Not only do rogues have kind of like a mechanic that allows them to ignore the fact that they're standing inside fire or whatever it is on any single fight, but you can use this to your advantage. If you are going to pop your burst on a boss fight where an effect might pop up on the ground that will make you move, you can literally just pop all your bursts and throw Cloak up, and guess what? Even if the boss throws a pile of slime on you, you can stand right in that slime for, what is it, 5 seconds, completely ignoring it. Cloak of Shadows is actually a really, really strong PvE spell. We look at Vanish. Obviously, this isn't classic WoW. Threat's not a big deal anymore these days, but this will help make sure you're not going to pull aggro off your tank, or you can get out of a dangerous situation. I would say use your Vanish whenever you do not have Shadow Dance up, though, and you can kind of squeeze in a quick Shadow Strike that costs less energy because of your talent here. That's pretty much it, guys. I don't think I'm missing anything. Sub Rogue is looking very simple all around the board. Okay, so if you're like me and you're more of a kinesthetic learner, you will enjoy this portion, but I think what I'll do is I'll kind of just simulate a bit of DPS on a dummy, give you guys kind of an idea of what an opener might look like and just a kind of a flow of the playstyle. Uh, if you guys think it would be helpful, I do maybe plan on uploading a video going through a Mythic Plus, just kind of doing a live commentary after the reset. I've actually done every single Mythic this week, so I literally cannot do Mythics anyways. But I could kind of do like a live commentary going through a Mythic Plus, just talking about what I'm doing the whole time, showing rotation usage throughout every little pack. And I think, at least for my learning style, that would be really helpful. So let me know in the comments below if that would help you guys, or if there's anything else I could do to try to help you guys out. I'm super open to that. All right, guys. So in terms of an opener, if we bring back our general rotation priority, it's going to be maintaining a rupture, maintaining slice and dice, and getting combo points to eviscerate. Very simple stuff. So I've actually kind of laid out an opener that we can do really easily together, and then you can kind of roll your DPS off this. So I'll go ahead, I'll show you guys this. I'll tell you first, and then we'll do a bit of DPS, very straight up. So the opener is going to be a Shadow Strike into a Slice and Dice right away. This is going to give you like a 17-second Slice and Dice. And then you're going to Shadow Dance with your blades, so you get bonus combo points. You're going to Shadow Strike once, and then use your Symbols of Death into an Echoing Reprimand. This will get you back to full combo points. After you do this, you can put up a 5-point Rupture, and then this is kind of where you go ham. You just start Shadow Striking to full combo points and eviscerating. You want to you want to pay attention to your Slice and Dice timer. That's going to be what's falling off first. Whenever Slice and Dice is low, you're going to go to reapply that. Whenever Rupture is low, you're going to reapply that. Outside of that, you're basically just Shadow Dancing, spamming Shadow Strike, and Eviscerate. With the way that our cooldowns line up, since Symbols is a 30-second cooldown and Dance is 1-minute recharges, basically every second dance, you'll be able to use Symbols. So try to save your Symbols for as soon as you go into Dance. But another thing is to make sure you're not just overcapping your energy. So if you're at 100 energy and you pop Shadow Dance, because of our talent, we're going to regain 25 energy over 3 seconds. So if you're at 100, you're not going to benefit much from that. Also, when you pop Symbols, you instantly generate 40 energy. So it's kind of good with a Sub Rogue to keep yourself energy starved so you can really benefit from your abilities that give you energy regen. Alright guys, so let's look at the actual opener here. I'm not going to try to commentate over this because I've already tried, and there was way too many abilities way too fast, but I will break it down in slow motion afterwards. But yeah, let's just bring this to life. Alright, and once you get all that stuff up, it basically just turns into building to 6 combo points, maintaining Shadow Dance, and casting Eviscerates. As you can see, I'm doing about 4k DPS. Pretty crazy numbers. Slice and Dice is going to fall off. We're just going to go ahead, reapply that. Rupture's getting low. We still got some time. This is all it is, guys. It's just a lot of Shadow Striking. Shadow Dance is down. Let's get a Vanish Shadow Strike in. Reapply Rupture. You just keep maintaining. Okay, guys, so breaking down the opener in slow motion, it's going to be a Shadow Strike into a Slice and Dice right away. Then you're going to pop Shadow Blades and Shadow Dance and Shadow Strike, pop Symbols of Death into your Echoing Reprimand, get a full Rupture up, and then from this point, it's very easy. You're just going to Shadow Strike to 5 or 6 combo points into Eviscerates, and kind of just follow that baseline rotation priority that I showed earlier. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope this could help all of you. Like I said earlier, if you have any suggestions for any type of thing, let me know in the comments below. And if this did help you, I would really appreciate if you could like the video. Thank you so much for all the feedback on my previous videos. It actually means so much to me. You would probably think I'm crazy, but I really do genuinely appreciate that. I am going to actually finish off this pizza, so I will catch you guys in the next fart. Have a good one.